Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is a Sunday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to just have a conversation, of course, a conversation on matters of politics, what has been happening over the week or over the weekend, and how the comments of politicians or the leaders that we have in Kenya are influencing the running of the country and matters of governance. That is what we want to talk about this evening. Before we get into that conversation, allow me to take this opportunity to say hi to our good friend Gypsy Corner and to appreciate you for finding time to join us. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for being with us. Tumekakaa. We were trying to come in, but then we were just trying to set everything and to put everything in order. I think that's why we've stayed for around 10 or 5 minutes past the right time that we had set. I'll give you Miguda a chance to say hi na tuambie siku yako imekuwaje? Imekuwa vipi?
Umeanza na Kiswahili kakangu, ningependa tu kueleza tu kwa lugha ya Kiswahili ndiposa tupate kuelewana na wenzetu. Kwanza ningependa kushukuru kwa kunipatia nafasi kuzungumza na wapenzi wetu, na pia ningependa kukaribisha kila mtu katika kipindi chetu. Mimi kama kibinafsi nimekuwa vyema, siku yangu imekuwa vizuri sana. Ni vile sasa mambo na soka la Kiingereza ni kama nimeziacha kwa muda fulani, nitazirejea wakati mwingine juu sasa ni kama timu inapigwa kwa wakati wote. Alafu pia ningependa kukaribisha rafiki yetu ndiposa yeye ndiye hapo katika conversation Gypsy Corner, na pia kumshukuru manake jana alituahidi, lakini kama alikamilisha ahadi yake. Sasa tunasema shukrani sana, Mungu azidi kukubariki na tunasema asante tu juu umesaidia sana, Sina mengi cha kusema juu kupata mtu ako na moyo kama huyo ni ngumu. Ningependa kukaribisha wenzetu wanatazama na wale pia watatazama hapo mbele. Nasema hii ni Brother Benson Media, na kila msee mwenye ako na nafasi anaweza kutupatia hapo likes na pia kusubscribe katika channel. Makubura, uko wapi? Mpotea. Ni kama niko peke yangu kwa studio. Okay. I'll just come back to English so that people can get us, everyone. There are people who don't understand Kiswahili. First, I would also like to welcome each and every person to the show, and also to appeal to people that this is Brother Benson Media. Here we say your opinion counts. You are at liberty to give your opinion irrespective of who you are, where you are, and whatever you have, because your opinion is fully protected. I also want to welcome everybody to the show, including James Corner in the comment section, and appreciate James Corner for supporting us as a team in this channel. And it has been a great work from your side. I personally, I must appreciate you because you touches many lives. It is not easy always to find someone like you, but once in a while there are people. So continue with that art, and may good God always bless you abundantly and continue lifting you up. That's the prayer I can pray for you for now. That's the much I can give you. Just can give you much prayer and also much blessings from God. Hope everything will be okay with the time. Today, as you have seen, we have come to the studio on our daily conversation. We are here to discuss matters politics, but what is important to us is matters governance. As the people of this great republic, as a law-abiding citizens, we believe in governance, not only governance but good governance. So we tend to come here and discuss the politics, or we tend to come here to discuss the occurrences so that we can develop a good governance. We can have a system whereby the people are involved in discussion. The people can discuss their government inside, outside, anywhere, including Baraza. When we come to this show, we just come here, not that we are perfect than another person, but we're the part of the country. So we come here to discuss many things that affect people socially, politically, economically. That's why it's very important to engage on a daily basis. Through engagement, we are able to get feedback from the people. We are able to get feedback from other people, also in the media fraternity. And I believe that's how we can create and shape our politics. It cannot be created and shaped when people are quiet. The people must have a conversation. There must be a genesis of anything. Even for some of us who are Christians, we believe that in the beginning there was a word, and the word was God, and God was with the word. Then later in the New Testament, the word turned into flesh, that Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and he completed what happened from the beginning in the crucifixion at the Calvary. So even we believe that there must be something, it must be spoken out so that when people speak it out, it come to be a reality. And that's why we are here. We are very much intent and we are very much deliberate on our activities, and we welcome people with different diversity. We are at liberty. We are open to critique, be it positive or negative. I think that's my opening remarks when Makubura was speaking. Makubura, where were you?
Okay, thank you so much for maintaining or proceeding with the conversation. I don't know whether I'm now clear. I had lost power, and fortunately, it's back. Am I
You are
clear?
clear. You are clear.
Okay. Thank you so much. Allow me to once again say a big thank you to Gypsy Corner, uh, Gypsy Corner, the comment section, and for keeping the conversation going. Thank you so much, Gypsy Corner, and not forgetting what what you did to us. We really appreciate as well. Thank you so much for your support. We don't take it for granted. And of course, I'll just get direct into the discussion that he's here with us. Gachagua set to unite the opposition ahead of the polls. Gachagua has been moving throughout the country, Mr. Miguda. I'm quite sure that you are aware of that. And in many instances, he has been speaking against the government or against those things that he think are not right. And again, he has been coming out as a solution to the challenges or the political challenges that the people of Kenya are going through. In his statements, he keeps on saying that he has the right formula, he has the right agenda for the country. Of course, those are comments that the president on the other side, William Samoei Ruto, is saying that that is lack of support. The president is saying that Gachagua and his team do not really have an agenda, and that they are not really focused. And for that reason, he's downplaying them. The question I'm asking you to write, Mr. Miguda, is: do you think Rigathi Gachagua, with his consistent calls, do you think he has the capacity to fully unite the opposition until they get to a point where they can have the power, or they can have what we call political unity, a unity that is going to be unshakable, a unity that would equate, or that would look like the unity that Raila has always brought forth on the opposition side all those years that he's been the opposition leader. Do you think Gachagua has the same? And the kind of language or the kind of politics that is playing, do you think it's one that is uniting? Do you think it is one that is going to ensure that the opposition maintains, being strong as they head for, let's start with the elections as we wait for the generation? Be good.
First, I just want to say, from my own observation, I've realized that it is not always the leaders, but the people. If the people can unite, it can be a force to reckon. The leaders can unite, but the people are not united. If you unite yourself as leaders, then you left the people not united. I think you are going nowhere. So it's better first. We must ensure that the people are united for a certain cause. The people are united for a specific cause. Then, as leaders, you can come and join the people, or you can infiltrate, hijack the people's movement, or you can front yourselves as leaders of the people. By doing so, people gonna elect you. People gonna elect you. But what I want to say is that because you started the issue of Raila Odinga bringing people together, there's an uniting opposition in previous times. But what we are dealing with right now is a quite different case because look at it whereby it is possible for these leaders to unite. They're human beings, they can just talk to each other, then they unite. But there's a problem. There's a big problem when people want to settle for the flag bearer because selfishness. There are people who are selfish and ambitious. If they cannot settle on the right ticket, Makobura, William Ruto will have them for breakfast, even these by elections, but they've tried the by elections. But when 2027, if they fail to give the people the correct formula, there will be no election. That one will be done and dusted. But Gachagua, I can just say, he's trying, of course. He's a man. A man can try, though. He's really trying to be relevant. But from where I'm able to read the mood of the country, Gachagua is less popular before he left the country to United States of America. Currently, he's less popular compared to the time before he left. You know, when he was at the Obina show before he left, and when he was hosted by Yvonne Okwara at the Explainer. Those two interviews can rate you that the man is less popular. Even look at the views when we are at the Obina show and the views at the Yvonne Okwara show. Let him go back, re-strategize, retreat, and come back with the formula which he came back with during the time before he left to the United States of America. The time he wanted to be arrested. Right now, no one is even following to get to arrest him because he's less popular. That I can tell you. The reason why I believe so, the current president, William Ruto, has also not been sleeping. So he has decided to downplay them the way you have said, downplay them. But me, I usually say they have been contained and managed by Ruto. Ruto is telling them, don't discuss about one term. Don't discuss about Ruto must go. Don't discuss about Kasongo must go. Engage me on affordable houses. Engage me on the economy of the country. Engage me on SHA. If SHA is not working, yes, it's not working, but what's your alternative? Or what are the recommendations for it to work? If affordable houses are not good, what do you have? So they have been managed. They have been contained. So they are engaging him. But I want to remind them, let no one manage your containing because even him, he was never managed and contained. When Uhuru and Raila brought BBI, he was still busy campaigning. And let nobody tell you about agenda or slogan because even him, he was just Mganga Kitendawili. Mganga Kitendawili, those are not agenda. And also Asla Nation, Boda Boda, Maamboga. But when you say Kasongo, Ruto, wanakuambia ati hauna sera. Sometimes you should not be bullied in politics by your senior, but Ruto has managed to bully these guys. I can just say, currently, to speak the truth, Gachagua is trying like a man, but hajafika pale. He's not yet there. Let him do a lot of things. Let him do a lot of things so that we can unite the position. But we are still giving them the benefit of doubt right now because it's too early. Maybe it can be a part of the strategy. You understand politics. It can be part of the dynamics. People are bored or people are not willing to follow. But as time goes by, people will find another thing to discuss. I think Gachagua is also not sleeping. So if they can be united, fine. But that's not enough. It should be a unity of purpose whereby it is a people-centered agenda. They should be united on a people-centered agenda. And also, if it's a matter of flag bearer or whatever, let them look for that ticket, the one we have been preaching about, that ticket. But if they decide to go contrary to the advice of the people, I think Kumi Bila break will be reality. Kumi Bila break will be reality. The two term will be reality. It will come to pass that it was something that had to come.
Okay, thank you so much. And of course, that brings me to this question. We've seen a heated political, I don't know whether to call it campaigns. I think it is because that is what we've been seeing. It is a typical campaign, and Rigathi Gachagua has maintained the campaigns, and he's reminding the people and his supporters of the of those things that the president has not really done, and is coming out to tell them again that what, if you give me a chance, I'm going to solve the problems. If you give me a chance, the monies that you've been paying that has been taken by Shah, we will refund them back. He's telling his supporters that if I get into the government, I will ensure that the cost of living is reduced, such kind of things. And there are quite a number of people who have actually bought that. And if you go, for example, to the Mount Kenya region, Rigathi Gachagua is supported with quite a good number of people. And the question I'm asking you, Migoda, with if you look at the opposition side currently, there is Rigathi Gachagua, there is Kalonzo Musyoka, there is quite a number of politicians coming from the western part of the Republic of Kenya, of course, partly some from Nyanza. And the question I'm asking, based on what you said, that it might get to a point where the two-term narrative would be given a chance. My question to you is, if you look at the population in Kenya, of course, the Mount Kenya region has the highest population. And again, if you do your math, just the normal math on the kind of electoral population that we've always had, what tells you that? The president who comes from the Rift Valley region, with the support of the opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga, what tells you that he might get a chance to to go for his second term, vis-a-vis the opposition that is combined? Opposition, of course, we've always had and known that the people from the Man Kenya region has the majority of the votes. How are they going to play that to an extent that they get the two term that they're speaking about?
It is very easy. It is very easy to get a second term. If I were Ruto, if Ruto could be me Goda, me I could have gotten my second term. Very easy. Because the opposition is united against you. You got part of the opposition. You know, Raila is also in the opposition in your camp. The united one, that of Gachagua, Kalonzo, Eugene, Karuas, whoever is there. You just split it. By splitting it, you have your second term. Very simple. So the question is, how do you split it? You either, if you, because Ruto is trying to split Mount Kenya. Is focused on Mount Kenya, but that one is going to give me a long, a long night. Why can't you just take away Ukambani from there? Then relax with Ukambani. You know, by taking Ukambani away from Gachagua, then Gachagua is done. So I don't see why you should be busy going around trying to split Mount Kenya in the name of Muranga County, Kiambu County, whichever county. Just take away Ukambani. Your game imeisha, game short. That's why I tell it's very easy to get a second term, because you can't trust these politicians. You can never trust them. I like a politics is not reality. It's not what you see that they can stick together, because Gachagua was a close ally to Ruto, and you know Gachagua used to spend nights at Rutos used to spend nights at Gachagua place, but provided there is no interest, the divergent of interest, we have to part with. So I can't be certain, sure that Gachagua Kalonzo can still stick together, because if provided the interests diverge, they will still have to part ways. But there's a problem because of this infiltration and hijacking. There was a good cause in the country whereby people wanted to reform the entire system, the so-called overhaul of the whole system. People came out, not only Gen Z, because even the millennials were there, the Gen X were there, and even the old mamas were there. People wanted to get overhaul of the whole system. But because of the greed and selfish, some people took advantage of that. They hijacked the crowd. That were the people who wanted to go. Those are the people we should start by naming them as public enemy, because it should be they should have left it for people. It's a people thing, not a politician thing. All this thing. Even if they were bullying us that you can't say you are leaderless, you can't say you are partyless, you can't say you are tribeless. You must have a political party for you people to come to negotiate. You must have a leader to negotiate for you. You must belong to a certain tribe. Because we were not falling into their trap. Now they were able to persuade people to join their political parties. They were able to persuade people to front themselves as leaders. And that's why we are here today. That wave is gone. You know me, I'm feeling when it was there, we were saying it was there. So the people who are opposing at that time are the people are wrong, because when the wave was there, it was reality. It was there. There was no need for us to oppose that. It was not there. Right now, I can say that wave is not much the way it was before, and that's the reality. So if you come here to oppose, you are entitled to your opinion, but the facts are there. There was a wave of change in the country. That time people were demonstrating. Currently, people are disappointed. There's now that wave of change, and people were saying you must have a political party, you must have a leader. They downplayed us the way you are. I want to use your English, downplaying. They downplayed the movement, because they managed to downplayed us. Because in my view, from where I'm seated, if we can just walk from where we were peacefully and armed, demonstrating up to the house on the hill, state house or parliament or wherever we are, but state house is the best place to go. If you can occupy the state house peacefully and armed, no harming anybody. Do you think we can lack someone who we can swear in? Anyone, the person who will be there by that time will be sworn in, so that person will be the president. All those stories were being told, give the speaker, give you must get what, give the chief justice, provided we have walked peacefully and armed and we are at the state house. I think we will not lack anybody to be sworn. We will get anybody, and even if you, Mark, the person leads that movement, we'll have a Bible, we swear you in, and we get over the other system. But that is a story of another day. It never. So what I was trying to say is that the people or the leaders, because of their selfishness, we are here today. Because they thought that they can take advantage of that wave of change. Now they want to be the face of change. How can you become the face of change and you have been that administration of William Ruto? Really? How can you become the face of change and you have just served right into the cabinet people like J.B. Muturi? Really? How do you want to be the face of change and you have been as serious in the previous regime like Matiang'i and Eugene, and the previous regime also committed atrocities to the Kenyans? How are you going to be the face of change unless the meaning of the face of change has changed? That is when I can now admit that they are the face of change. To me, Makobura, they are not face of change. We are here because of them. And going forward, the reality of two term is because these people understand each other. Ruto will just use the same people to get his second term. It is the people, we the people, Ruto could have not defeated us. But Ruto can defeat leaders. It is only the people whom he could never defeated, the so-called Gen Z. But if he has maneuvered and succeeded to be the president to date, and now he's going to compete against people like Gachagua, Kalonzo, bring whatever formula, then he's going to have it. But if it were him against the people, then that one I could have said one term. One term was very much possible, or even half term, or even quarter term. But now they have managed to balance equation because we are talking about simple arithmetic. The simplicity of it is that they have managed to have the previous formula whereby it was Uhuru against Raila, Uhuru against Raila, Raila against Kibaki, Kibaki against Uhuru. Now 2027, Ruto against any other person. So the system has not been overhauled. But if you could be having the people versus Ruto, then Ruto angeenda nyumbani mapema, one term.
Okay, Miguda, I've had your take, and I don't know whether you saw Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, today. He's saying that the government is not. I mean, the president is not running the country to the right direction, and that most of things which are being done in the country are not really in the interest of the people of Kenya, according to his statement. And he's saying that if he is given an opportunity, he's going to come and ensure that things to do with lies, accountability, he will ensure that there is accountability. Na tena kwa uongozi wake hakutakuwa na mambo ya udanganyifu na mambo kama haya. He is actually appealing to the people of Kenya that they should not make a mistake of re-electing the president, and that he and his allies has what we call the solution to the challenges, the solution to the problems that the country is facing. What is your take on that comment of Rigathi Gachagua? And you know, something else that I think we have to agree is that Rigathi Gachagua is currently accepted and is currently a political. He has what we call a political name, and he is a threat of which if he is not managed politically, or if he is not the president or the side of the government I mean, the president, that is President William Ruto, if he's not keen on how he convinced the people of Kenya to elect him for his second term, there are possibilities that the people will give a chance to the opposition team. What is your take on that? Do you think the tactic that is being used by the opposition might work to their favor, or what is your take?
You talked about the issue of campaigns, whereby Gachagua has been moving across the country, and also he has been saying like issue of accountability. Whenever given opportunity to govern this country, he can bring leaders into accountable, and specifically President William Ruto can be accountable for anything he had committed when he was the president. That is an open campaign, very much open campaign. Gachagua is campaigning. Gachagua is campaigning, and that's why he's also trying to sell himself to the people by one, telling the people his capacity and what he's going to do when elected. He's going to do things like accountability, and also going to be to hold leaders accountable. So to me, I can say he's campaigning, and they understand that he's campaigning against William Ruto, the president of the Republic of Kenya. And that's why I believe the people in opposition should open their eyes and know the kind of person who is around them. Gachagua is cunning, just like Mr. President. Gachagua is preparing people psychologically that I'm going to be kwa ballot. He's preparing people psychologically I'm going to be in the ballot. So if he's going to be on the ballot in 2027, he's trying to tell the people alternatives that the current president is unable to hold leaders into accountable. But as for me, once elected, I will do that one. The current president is corrupt. State House is a scene of crime. So when elected, I will ensure I restore the dignity of State House. Are you getting the point? Gachagua is openly campaigning, purely campaign. There's nothing like whatever. So he's campaigning, and he's preparing his supporters psychologically that he will be able. And I want to agree with you. He is popular. I've not said that. The fact that I've said he's lesser popular compared to when he left the country doesn't make him now unpopular. Yes, he's popular, but not as much. But in terms of his supporters base, like the Mount Kenya, he's one of the popular candidates. He's one of the popular candidates in the region, and most of the people are going to be elected under his party ticket. That one I can assure you. And also, he's going to chase away those Rutos parties in the Mount Kenya like no one's business, because that person, don't never underrate him. The way you're saying, don't underrate him. Number two, you talked about the issue of management. I think because you have talked about management so that it can be checked keenly, I think he's being observed. That is why the president has managed him to make him now fall in his trap. No, now he's campaigning. So the president has reduced him to his opponent, whereby he's campaigning by attacking him. An issue of accountability, by trying to bully them, not to say one term. So it's like he's being managed, Marco. But that's the meaning of management. That not managing doesn't mean that you have to arrest him, or you have to kill him, or you have to poison him, or you have to block him in the rallies, or you have to tear gas him. You can even manage him just by allowing him to engage you. The moment whenever he's having a mic, he's busy engaging you, or he's busy campaigning, or he's busy now forgetting about his own things, like one time Kasongo Masutu must go, now going to like engaging like the affordable houses, the pay slip to the workers, civil servants, the infrastructure, the SHA. By the time they are talking about your manifestos, it's mean now you have managed them, you have put them into your corner. Now in your game now they cannot win against your game, because you will come with another thing. They are saying they're talking about education, and they are saying we have a new funding model, but they are saying let us go back to old funding model. You say no. For how long will we be stagnant? And that's why he was telling people We need to go Singapore. We need to go South Korea. Hata tumechelewa. Kenya, we are late because he has managed them. That's I want to understand that one. He's managing them, and they will come back and respond to him that no, we can't go to Singapore. We can't go to Singapore. We can't go to Singapore. So to me, if I could be an opposition leader today in the country, I could have ignored William Ruto. I could have ignored his policies. I could have ignored anything he's doing, whether affordable houses, whatever. I could just focus on one term. Ruto must go. And I moved in the country because I will not engage him. Whether you tell you that hauna akili. Yeah, but hauna akili, but you know what you're doing because he wants you to go to his corner. So, but by you giving people your manifesto, now you think uko na akili. No, it's the same thing. So what you do, just focus. The way look at the way it was focused. It was focused on his national narrative, bottom up economic model, and they ignored the things like BBI, ignored Uhuru Kenyatta. So it was engaging his audience that bottom up economic model, hustler, mtu wa boda boda, mamboga. Then he communicated very well to the lesser regarded the society. But when you want now to engage him on his own manifesto, I think you cannot beat him in his game. So I think he's being managed. The politician who is crafty and who is also notorious, is currently being managed very effectively by the system. The NIS is managing. That's why they haven't arrested him. That's why they haven't even had an issue with him because they are managing him. So I think in terms of management, I can say that one, the president has successfully managed him. So it's high time for him to also change tact and have a different tactic because he himself, Gachagua admitted that William Ruto is a cunning hair. It means they know each other. They know each other very well. So if this is not working for you, it's better. It's high time you change another tact. I think him, you need to change. You need to change a tact because his current tact has been mastered by William Ruto.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. And I can see good friends Laban Misiani at the comment section. I can also see a good friend Gypsy Corner. And Gypsy Corner is saying that Laban Misiani, don't you realize the affordable houses is part of bribes, not for everyone? It's for teachers, footballers, and those promised compensation. Really sad. I'm also here paying tax, paying paying housing levy, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe those who have what we call first hand experience or they are touched directly. I think those people might have their own version or their own version of thinking or their own version of uh, the general view of what people have about the government. And away from that, the cabinet secretary Joho, in charge of mining, all those, is saying that if Raila Amolo Odinga is in the government, they have no other option but to support the government. And for that reason, he's saying that the president, that is William Samoei Ruto, will get his second term easily with the support of the ODM. Migura, what is your take on the comments of Joho?
I don't want to talk about him, but just want to say, let me focus on the ODM part. Let me not talk for an individual. William Ruto cannot get his second term with the only ODM party. William Ruto still need another factor in his camp. He cannot win it with the ODM alone. Because remember, when he was voted overwhelmed by Mount Kenyan people, and the united opposition by that time, in the ODM. Ruto won against them. So if you have taken the major consequence of William Ruto out of him, that's Mount Kenya, then you bring in the ODM. I don't think he can just get second term by merely having ODM in his camp. He needs more people, and that's why he's in Mount Kenya trying to put people. You have heard Gachagua complaining there is someone who is being plotted at Murang'a County. There's someone being plotted at Kiambu. There's another one in Nyeri. There's also another one in Kirinyaga. So he has planted like 10 political parties in Mount Kenya just to divide that Mount Kenya, because he knows very well the importance of having Mount Kenya in your basket. Because once you have Mount Kenya, you are likely going to be declared. Kibaki had Mount Kenya in 2007, he was declared. Kibaki had Mount Kenya in 2002, he was declared. 1370 respectively, Uhuru had Mount Kenya, he was declared. 2022, Ruto had Mount Kenya, he was declared. So if you can get it blocked, you have high chances to become the president of the Republic of Kenya. You just need one constituency. You can blend it with one constituency. The way Uhuru blended it with the Rift Valley. So even if you can blend it with the ODM, I think you can be declared. But leaving Mount Kenya out of the matrix, the entire Mount Kenya, that you want to become the president without Mount Kenya, people will bring debates like Moi worked without Mount Kenya, Moi was being without Mount Kenya. But you never know, statistics, things have changed. That this is not the era of Moi. In those times, there was things like Mlolongo, there was no transparency, election was not final at polling station, election was not final at polling station. Right now, the laws are very clear. Once you work in a polling station, verify you vote, counted, final. Presidential election is final at polling station right now. So once we cast our vote, it is final, number one. Number two, right now, there's a lot of transparency in terms of documentation of the result, and also in terms of right now, in terms of documentation, and also in terms of when you look at the issues like right now in the system, the Kenyan system, registration of voters, population have increased, people are many, and also people have been registered, and things have increased, I can say. So if you can neglect, or if you can outrule Mount Kenya in your matrix, I don't think Makubole is possible, because even William Ruto himself knows that. That's why he has decided to divide that Mount Kenya. If that could be the case, then he could have just let it go and go to other constituency, then allow them to be themselves without bringing people like Mount Kenya East, Kindiki inside, without plotting people in Murang'a, without plotting people in Nyeri, without plotting. But because they understand, even him where he is, that it is quite impossible to go without Mount Kenya, he has been part of the, so he has to divide it. I think that is how I can clarify that issue of Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is a factor in our elections.
With the experts joining the government, Mr. Miguda, what is your general take in terms of what they've done for this government? Do you think the experts have done something that might give the supporters of ODM some reasons to vote for the government without having a second thought?
There could be second thought to some people, but a good number of ODM supporters, most of the sycophants, they are going to follow the position of the party leader and the expert, because in terms of allocation of the budget, the expert have tried to allocate very significant into their regions in terms of infrastructure, in terms of market, stadiums, and I think they have done majorly on roads. And right now, I've told you they are contractors on the road side. So it's very easy for them to go to their regions and also say that when we were not inside, there was no one to allocate for us this. projects. But now we are the people inside there. We can allocate them to our region. I think that one they can persuade some people to a certain extent. They will persuade some people, but not the entire people. And also, I can just say the sales for treasury has tried in terms of allocation, but another expert like corporation, another expert of mining, another expert of energy, they haven't done so much big. Maybe they can just rely on one expert because one expert has demonstrated that actually, even if it's a matter of discrimination or a matter of unequal distribution of resources, but with him, he can go to his supporters and argue that actually during budget making process, I allocated significantly to your region. That one I can just tell you that one expert has tried to convince his constituents or his base that I went there and allocate things which were never allocated, even when we had the previous regime, and things which were never imagined that they could be allocated until we finish this Rutos one term. But other experts, they are cool kids. They are cool kids and they are quiet. They don't much they don't mean so much to their people. So if you ask me in terms of expert, I can say it is very easy to persuade their constituents, particularly the ODM base, that when TS Judiciary went there, when they were making budgets, he tried to allocate very significant projects into their stronghold. Yeah, that is my take.
Miguda, as a Kenyan citizen and as a youth, I'm not really going to ask you if you can support Ruto in his second term. I wouldn't be that direct. But as a Kenyan youth, as a Kenyan, do you really think the president, William Samoei Ruto, has done what can give you a reason to wake up and go vote for him as he is requesting to be given his second term? Do you think you have reasons as per the promises that he gave to the people of Kenya? As per, all the agenda that he brought forth before the people of Kenya. Do you think he has, he warrants being given a second term? Do you think we need someone else to come and, solve the challenges that are being faced in the country, or the president has what it takes to run the country and to manage the difficult things that the country is going through? Good.
Even if you ask me that question indirect or direct, me, I don't vote because Raila supported Ruto or because Ruto is doing project in my village. That's not how I vote. Me, I'm very much deliberate. If I have the 6 ballots, I do my own judgment. That's why I don't just vote because there's a wave. So I'll answer that question anytime, anywhere, any moment. Me, I can't vote. I can't vote for William Ruto. At the same time, I can't vote for Gachagua. I'm very clear. And I've said, and you are the person who interviewed me here, my candidate, like I've said, was Maraga. Maraga still remain my candidate. I haven't changed my mind. I've said I rather lose with Maraga, but I'll be here telling you people that you had an opportunity, but you fail us. So people should not come and cry that, oh, you are corner. No, you have opportunity. There are many candidates in the ballot. Must I vote for Ruto or Gachagua? No, it's not important. Even what acquired some votes, those people are human beings. So me, I have no apology to make here. Personally, as a youth, me, I can just say maisha si mazuri. Maisha si mazuri. Since there is high taxation in the country, high cost of living in the country, there are no jobs. So I have no reason to give him a second term. And that's the thing he needs to do. This high level of corruption. I also have no reason to support the Gachagua camp because Gachagua camp does the same thing. What removing Ruto, bring Kalonzo to me is no, you haven't done anything. You just flip the coin. See the coin. So as a youth and as a conscious adult who is a registered voter, if I got my 6 ballots, I'll vote people based on, first I'll just look at the, if you are a reformist, I'm likely to vote for you. But if you are like even you the other time also you asked me about Matiang. Even me, I can't vote for Matiang. Matiang, I can never vote for him, even if he's funded by the opposition. I have some reasons well known to me. So as a young person who is in this country, in the ground, I'm feeling the effect of the economy at personal level. I'm feeling the effect of cost of living. I'm feeling the effect of taxation because I pay taxes on a daily basis. Even today, I can't do my any transaction without paying taxes. I pay fuel levy on a daily basis. So given an opportunity to rub a lot to make decision for myself and my country, I can't make a mistake by electing Ruto. That one I'll be making a mistake, and I should not be forgiven. There's a problem here. You have opportunity to correct that problem peacefully, democratically at ballot. Then all of a sudden you say, oh, because they are being supported by Raila and ODM, or because he's now popular in the opinion poll, because he compensated the people who were killed, or because he tax force, because he accused MPs of corruption, because affordable assets we can see and touch them. Now give second time. Really? Me, I don't make a decision on that. So that one I'm very much sorry. I respect people's opinion and decision. For those people who will vote for him, well and good. Vote for him. That's your candidate. You are at liberty to do whatever you want to do. Those who want to vote Gachagua, vote for him. That's your candidate. You can do whatever you want to do. But as for me, I can never betray my country at the ballot. So it's very simple. I'm not forcing anybody. You are at liberty to do your thing. But there's no need for you. You have opportunity, open check to sign. Then you want to come here and tell us stories. Then say, oh, we was you what? No. Tuache ukabila. Tribalism must be buried in this country. Tuache hatred, emotions. Just have your conscience and transform your country. Not leave alone this issue of my from our tribe, our coalition. No. Makubula, that one I will disagree with you. That me, if I have opportunity to vote, of course, which I'm having, I won't make the same mistake. But if I must vote for him in that case, then I have that option to abstain. I don't need to vote. I can decide to stay in indoors. If I have two options, Gachagua and Ruto at ballot, I rather abstain.
Okay, thank you. I think I should also give my view on that because I'm entitled to my views. And mine, I think I don't know how to put it. I believe I'm a sober adult of sound. I'm an adult who knows what is right and what is wrong. And for that reason, I think it's sometimes good to educate the people of Kenya. And we have to be truthful in this country if we really want to ensure that we live in a country that is peaceful, a country that is prosperous, a country that is secure, a country that you'll wake up and you're happy about the country where you live. Then number one thing we have to do away with the tribal mentality because it does not help us in anything in the Republic of Kenya. Actually, part of the reason why we suffer in the Republic of Kenya, part of the reason why things to do with corruptions are there in the country, part of the reason why you find that other area or other regions are being respected or even more in terms of empowerment or development is because of tribalism. So we have to get it out of our mind and treat each other as Kenyans, treat each other as humans. If you are a human being coming from Kisumu, you have the same rights from a human being coming from the northern part of the Republic of Kenya. If you are a human being coming from Nairobi, coming from central Kenya, you have the same right as a human being coming from the coastal region, coming from the western region. And that is what really needs to get into our mind. Because the moment we get to understand that, then the issue of favoritism, the issue of wanting to help a certain place and neglecting a certain place will not come in. The issue of what we call greed will never come in. And we need to talk about these things first. If we had all these things in the right order or in the right place, then I can assure you that we would not really care where the president would come from. Even the president would come from outside the Republic of Kenya, so long as they want to, respect the will and the people of Kenya and do everything as per what the constitution says, so long as they are not going to favor a certain region or a certain people, so long as they're not greed, so long as they're not corrupt, then I assure you the people of Kenya will never have any challenge or problem with those people. The reason why we have a problem in this country is because of those issues that I've mentioned. And it is upon the people of Kenya to make the right decision. That is why I've never, as much as the constitution is very okay, the constitution gives us the leeway to think or to have a political stand. I wouldn't, I wouldn't support certain things. For example, if someone tells me about, for example, two term, the question I'll ask is, well, the people of Kenya woke up early in the morning, they went and voted. They were promised quite a number of things. All those things that they were promised, have they been delivered? That is the question I will ask. If not, then I have no reason to support that particular candidate. Whether it's a president, whether it's a governor, whether it's a senator, member of parliament, an MCA. We need to think rightly and we have to hold leaders accountable. Let us not support leaders because they are coming from our village, because they are our brothers, because they are our sisters. If your sister or your brother has been given a chance to lead and they're not doing what is right, you have to call them out. You have to tell them, you know what, this is not right, this is wrong. Whether it is your brother or sister or whichever. Let's stop this thing of tribalism. Let's stop this thing of huyu ni mtu wetu, because if we continue with that mentality, we are not making any progress. And that is why I have a problem with people who continue saying that, people are forcing, actually, they are forcing other Kenyans that it has to be a re-election. He has to be re-elected. The question you're asking is, well, that is a decision that any Kenyan has to make. But have you given them the environment to make that decision, or you are forcing them? Ni kama mnaweka bunduki kwa kichwa hivi, usipopiga hiyo kura umpe two term, then you're not going to exist in this republic. I don't think that is right. But again, all those people who also want or are eyeing for these particular seats, let them also be serious. Let them come out and genuinely speak to the people. Let them come out and not bank on some liars. Words which are not true. That is why I have a problem with the factions that is being led by Rigathi Gachagua, because he's not being honest. That is the truth of the matter. He had all the opportunity. He was in that government. He needed to have spoken directly from the first day. Why was it that he was coming to speak after he had been thrown out or after he had seen that things were not really working out? That is why I have a problem with the former AG, the likes of Justin Muturi. Why is it that they're speaking today? They've been in these subsequent governments. They've seen rotten things. They've never come out to, to speak about such kind of things. You know, I don't believe in anybody who is coming out to tell me to vote for Rigathi Gachagua. I do not believe and I'll not agree with anybody who is coming out to tell me to vote for William Samoei Ruto, because they are not solution to the problems. They're not solution to the challenges that we are facing as a country. The best thing we should do as a people of Kenya is we speak the truth. When we speak the truth, we tell them that Rigathi Gachagua is not the right person. We tell them that William Samoei Ruto is not the right person. We tell them that the likes of Justin Muturi are not the right person. That is being honest. Why is it that when things are tough, that is when certain leaders can come out to acknowledge the fact that there are sufferings in the country? Why is it that when things are working positively for them, they cannot acknowledge the presence of other people in their faction, the presence of other people coming from different areas, and this fallacy that the people of Luo or the Luo people are being given, I don't know, the best development that they've never received. Me, I'm just laughing those things off, and the question I'm asking is, the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, if it was really being followed as per what the Constitution says, the people of Luo region or the Western region will be getting the resources, will be getting the development. Why is it that they were not getting those other days? Today, you're being blinded, you're being told that, tunapeleka development Luo Nyanza. Mbona wako wanaleta those developments before? So does it mean that if Raila then leaves, then they're not going to get the development? Those are the things that we need to sort out, because people think differently. Today, if that is the mentality, that does it mean that because Rigathi Gachagua is coming from the Mount Kenya region and is having a problem with the president, his area should not get development? We need to solve such kind of things so that when we get to a point where you are leader or somebody is coming from a certain region or certain tribe, if they are not in good terms with the people in leadership, then the people around that area should not suffer just because you are kingpin or a leader from your area is not supporting the government. We have to solve such kind of things. If we don't solve them, then the people of Kenya will still, will still keep on crying, will not be solving anything. Things to do with demonstration will still come. Let us ensure that whoever is going to come to lead, the structures that are set are ones that favor the entire country. Whether I am having a different opinion with the government, whether I am having a different opinion with the president, that should not stop anybody from giving development to the people or the area where I'm coming from. Today, well, you're saying that, for example, Kalonzo Musyoka is the leader of Ukambani, in quotes. So does it mean that the people of Ukambani should not get development because Kalonzo Musyoka is on the opposition side? Those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves and come up with solution, so that if suppose yes today is not in government, things to do with development has to be given to the people of Ukambani without asking whether they supported the government or whether they are supporting the government today or not. That is why I don't believe in people stressing on one term, people stressing on two term. Let us solve the problem and let us stop the reasoning of the president is coming from our area, the governor is coming from my area, the member of parliament is coming from my area, and so we has to give him a chance whether it's going to work or not. If we continue that mentality, it is us, the people of Kenya, who are messing up. It is us who are suffering. So we need to be very clear on what we want as a country. If we want a prosperous country, then we have to make certain tough choices. We have to get out this mentality of being tribal out of our minds. We have to stop being greed. Brother Benson, what is your take? And Karibu, you can also say hi to our viewers and give us your take on
Thank you so much to the viewers, and thank you so much for Laban Misiani. Maybe, what do you want to give my take on? Because like you've spoke of, you've really talked of so many. Maybe.
What I want you to give your take on is I've been seeing the issue of one term, the issue of two term, and the narrative that is being sold, for example, by the people in one term. They're saying that they're giving reasons why the president should not, William Samoei Ruto should not be given a second term. They have their reasons. The people on the other side supporting the two term, they're also giving their reasons. And part of the reason they're saying is that certain areas are currently getting development, courtesy of the good relationship that maybe the president is having with Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is, I'm speaking about the Luo Nyanza. And the question I'm asking you is, I'm asking the people who are coming up with the two term and they are forcing the people that it has to be two term. Ni kama kuna any two way, it is just one way that you have to follow. And so, what is your take on the mentality that is being spread out that today Raila is supporting the government and so the people are getting, his region is getting development? My thinking is we need to sort the problem, the root cause, so that whether Raila is in government or not, the people of Luo Nyanza should be getting development. Today, Kalonzo Musyoka is in the opposition. That should not bar the people of Ukambani from getting development. Today, Rigathi Gachagua is in opposition. The other day he was in government. When he was in government, his people were getting development. Today, he is in opposition. And so he's not supposed to get, his areas are not supposed to get development because he's in opposition. And my biggest worry is, why can't we sort this so that whenever we have a leader, whenever any leader is coming in, he finds structures that are not, that are all laid out and are clarifying that each and every region, whether you support the government, whether you're not in government, whether you are known, you are entitled to get development. That is my thinking. And that is what I think the people propelling one term, two term are supposed to speak about, because that is what is going to help this country not to get into the problems that we are currently getting. What is your take?
Okay, Makobura, to begin with, let me just begin with the two term and one term. When you look at our constitution does not define uh, um, two term or one term, but it it gives everybody an opportunity to run for any office. For for instance, when we talk about the two term are meant basically that for President William Ruto has to go for two term. Constitutionally, a president has been given the constitution has given them the power to go for two term, but it is not a must that you have to go to for two term. You can go for two term if only you win. But if people can vote you out, that is also okay. That's why you find that when every time when people go for an election, even if you are an incumbent, you have to go back and bring in your certificate to the IEBC to clear you so that you can run for that presidency. So it means the constitution um, has given us power, or has given everybody power, that after 5 years you have to go back to the people to ask for an election for their votes. And secondly, you have also to go to the IEBC to clear you to run for that, but you're only supposed to run for two terms, but it's not consecutively. The one term too is also applicable, because if the people feel that the one term they've given you, you've not delivered, they can vote you out. But now when it comes, these are slogans, these are slogans that are being used in the political world, and each and every side has to. Talking about the policies are there, Makobura. Is that like the politician has decided deliberately to do what they are doing? You know, because when you go for an election, when people go for an election, people will have alternative view. There are those who are going to align themselves with the President William Ruto if he will be running, or those who will be aligning their president to the Right Honorable Prime Minister the way we did. But immediately after the election, whoever wins, you're not winning for a particular group, but you've won as somebody who is going to lead the nation. So where we usually get it wrong, and this is how our political class has always made or how we've made it a norm, you can only get development when you align yourself to the government or the administration in waiting, you know. But that is not what Constitution says. Immediately after winning, each and every Kenyan in each part of the region has the right to get the resources. Yeah, it's not only you have to be in government. When you start to do that, when we are saying that, okay, you can only get development when you go to be or to align your thoughts with the current administration or the administration that is in the power currently, then you are not being fair to other Kenyans, because that one means um, you are not sharing the resources equitably. You know, when you talk about that, when the administration laws, although we lay those, they are there in the constitution. Migoda will can remind us on how constitution has defined on how the resources can be shared amongst Kenyans. So what politicians do, or what the administration usually do, because they use it as a tool to campaign, yeah, so that so that the only people who can get those development are from a particular region, and those are just politics because they know what they're doing. So that is one. Then secondly, when you even listen to first the one term uh, say that one term opponents, or those who are chanting for one term, you know, they are they are just trying to send that narrative of one term. But sometimes they will not tell you what they want to do. Even the two term will not tell you what they want to do. But I think it all boils back to Kenyans who are voting. I've always sat down and look at it in this way, that as much as we might kind of like blame our leaders for what they're doing, but we've been the facilitators of what the leaders are doing, because we've allowed them to do so. Because like you find that we've been making this mistake over and over and over. The people who have been perpetuating this are the same people who have been in this political field, but we still vote them. We've never thought of bringing an alternative, provided that we've been told that this is doing this. Because like I can even see my friend Laban Misiani is talking about now the development is going to South Nyanza. Yes, it's going to South Nyanza, but who are the beneficiaries of that development? When you look at, because like now when we talk about Nyanza, we look at Homa Bay, what Homa Bay has done. But when you look at, it is only the Homa Bay within the cosmo of Homa Bay, or the town of Homa Bay. But what about the outskirts? You still find that even if there's a fire outbreak somewhere, the the fire police or the fire department in Homa Bay will not go and rescue a fire that is burning all the way in Dewa. Yeah, we have the ambulances, the emergencies. They're still not working. So what is that development? Talking about the roads, that we are talking about that the roads. Mhm. But when you look at the people who are getting those uh, contracts, sometimes you find that these are the people who are aligned to the ruling class. At the end of the day, the commission that is going out is quite much more, you know. So when we want to look at it, we want to look at it and look at us ourselves as voters. How can we change this? We can only change this if we don't allow them to keep on doing what they're doing. For instance, look at now what the president is doing, especially meeting people from different regions, and You look at sometimes president is giving them token when they go there. I don't know how you see like what happened with the teachers. I heard that teachers were given almost like around 10,000, but I did not see that is just it's alleged that they were given 10,000. And how many are they? So let's say like for instance, there were around 100 teachers and they got like a 10,000. That is almost like around how many millions? So, and look at the people who have been visiting each and every time they visit the state, or they get that money, you know. So, but if you look at it keenly, you're talking about that development. If I want to develop to your area, yeah, we have the county government. You know, the county governments where nowhere they should be. Why should I invite even an MCA to the county to the head of state to tell that I want to give you development? Are there ways in which these two governments can communicate? You know, so it is upon the voters now to decide on what they want to do. But structures are there. Makobura Miguda will tell you is that the politicians or the people who have been given power, they've decided just to ignore them. So that is my. No, Laban, I disagree with you that the president is uniting country. I don't think so because, like, I have never seen where Kenyans were not united, and I can give you incidences where that always we only talk about unity, especially when we talk about politics. But when it's not about politics, we always have unity. Kenya, that is something that I always believed. The only place that we are not united is the kind of politics that we play. That is what is not uniting us. I've seen Eric, for instance, let me just give you an instance, Laban. When there is a building that has fallen and there are people are buried in those debris, I've seen Kenyans from all walks of life using their manual hands to make sure that they save all Kenyans. I've seen when Faith Kipyegon win a race. I've seen when Kenyans does well in sports and everywhere. You will go to the social media. People will tell you the unity that Kenya has. But the only place that we are not united is the politicians because, first of all, they come up with things that disunite us, then they come and unite us because they talk about the tribal, you know. The unity that is being talked about is a political unity. I can agree with you. If you want us to unite politically, that is good. So you say that, okay, people who have different ideology, if the ODM who have different ideology unite with the UDM, which they were not agreeing politically, let us unite, yes. But if you want to tell me that Kenyans are not united, no. Kenya have always been united ever since. I believe in that. That is something that you cannot take away from Kenyans. But when it comes to political parties uniting together, that what president is doing, then you're right.
Miguda, do you have anything to say about the one term, two term? Is it what should be sold to the people of Kenya? Or we need to tackle the challenges that the Kenyans are facing? Do we have to sing the two term and tell the people that you have to vote for the re-election of the president because he has done some few roads within the CBD of, Kisumu or Oma Bay? And of course, Brother Ben, you've spoken about something. I'm coming from Kisumu County. I can tell you that the narrative outside there is that, oh, Kisumu is the cleanest, Kisumu is the best county. Yeah, it is the best county, but I can tell you within the CBD, it is clean, it looks good, it looks nice. But remember, Kisumu has, is it five other counties? Is it five or six, Migoda? If let me not forget, there's Kisumu Central, there's Seme constituency, Kisumu Central, Kisumu East, Kisumu West. There's Nyando, there's Muhoroni, there's Nyakach. That's seven. I think seven sub counties. And I can tell you, if you get out of Kisumu Central, you go to Nyando, you go to Muhoroni, you go to Nyakach, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. The reason why I'm saying that is that let us not see that there are beautiful things within the CBD of Kisumu, and then you say that, well, the entire Kisumu County is developed. That is a lie. The entire Kisumu County is clean. That's a lie. Kisumu is a big county. The same way there is this narrative that, oh, Homa Bay is being developed. It is just within the CBD that is developed that there are roads. But get out of the Homa Bay CBD or Homa Bay town, where you'll also get some 6 or 5 constituencies. I can tell you the living situations in those other counties cannot be compared. If you see what is happening in those away from town, you'll not believe that that is that is Homa Bay County. And I think this is a strategy that the political class are using. They are going to towns, trying to do some few developments, and then they try to instill that and say that, well, we've done the development in the entire area. That is not truth. Just like Nairobi. If Nairobi CBD is clean, it doesn't mean that if you go to the other sides, I mean, to the other constituencies within Nairobi, the outcast of the CBD, that things are working well. So let us be genuine. Miguda, you are supposed to give your take on what you think about one term, two term. Are we supposed to approach it as one term, two term? Or we are supposed to look at our issues, our problems, and then come up? I mean, then later on decide whether it is one term or two term. Miguda.
One term or two term, I just want to say people should do their politics freely. If you are a one term, just in one term, don't distract those who are seeing two term. And if you are a two term, you are pro two term, still you have two term, don't distract those who are seeing one term. And even if you are a no term, just be
Miguda, I don't know whether it's my side or your side. We can't hear you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I think Miguda is having a problem with this internet. But just like I did say, I think let us be genuine. Let us be people who are concerned about our country. Let us be, let us understand each other. Let us speak about issues which are affecting the country. I think if we focus on issues affecting the country, then we'll not be blinded with this political class. We'll not be blinded with these politicians. These politicians have played a game here in this Republic of Kenya. It is high time you come out and, reason differently, think differently. We need to, because if we don't, the future of this country, there's a time I heard one member of parliament saying that, we might fall into some deeper hole. So if we don't think positively, if we don't come up with solutions, if we don't come up with ideas that are going to change our country, then we will fall in a very deep hole. Miguda, kindly finish your comments and give us your last remarks. Miguda,
don't force people that they two term. allow people also to come. Unless Lima Kubura, the issue of development, there development at a good step. So we should stop criticizing government. They are bullying the people. But no. If you oppose government, you don't get development. If you work with government, you get development. That's my take, Makubura.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to say a big thank you to our good friend Gypsy Corner. Laban Misiani, I saw Ezra. Is it Ezra or what? Allow me to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. We really appreciate you finding time to join us, and especially those of you who have commented, giving us their view at the comment section. We don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Ezra Lagat, thank you so much for also finding time to be with us. Wale watu wa one term, thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Wale watu wa two term, thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Wale ambao hawaoni kama one ama two term, they will solve their problems. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. But above all, let us reason together, think together, come up with positive ideas which are going to help us run this country. That is my take. And for that reason, I want to take this opportunity once again to say a big thank you to Gypsy Corner. Thank you so much for your support. We did receive it. All we can say is that may God bless you. Mungu akubariki kwa usaidizi ambayo umekuwa ukitupa Gypsy Corner. Tunashukuru sana na tunakuombea kwamba Mwenyezi Mungu akubariki kwa yale yote ambayo unataka kufanya. Thank you so much once again, and I want to take this opportunity now to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening. Thank you so much, Laban, and bye-bye. Bye, Gypsy Corner. Bye, Laban, for finding time to be with us. We really appreciate your presence and you being here with us. As much as we have different views, we are Kenyans. We need to sit down and talk and come up with solutions. When we talk, that is when we get to understand part of the problems and the challenges we face. That is my take. Have a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening. Thank you so much. May God bless you. See you again tomorrow.